All right, let's see if we get us into the Bat Cave, as is tradition on the YouTubes, and maybe someday. There we go. Hello, everybody, and good morning, and welcome back to the first episode of the Jedi Academy here in 2024. Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome to another Saturday edition. We've taken a couple Saturdays off because of the holidays. But we are back for the Jedi Academy here on YouTube on the Reality Gamers channel. I'm your host, Ranger J 1999. Glad to have you guys here. Hope you guys are having a good Saturday and enjoying your weekend. Hope everyone's being safe and you're doing well. And what are we here to do? We are here to discuss, do, and have fun in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the mobile game brought to you by Capital Games. And by doing so, we are going to do nothing but answer your questions about the game. That's right. If you have questions about the game, that's cool. This is a Q&A show, and that's all we do is Q&A for these next 2 hours. How do you get a question answered? Pretty simple. Put your question into the comments. Make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question, comment, and or statement that you want to answer and respond to. It's pretty simple. That helps me to identify questions easier, especially when we have a lot of people in chat, and that's just the way it goes. We are on YouTube, so if you'd like to help support the channel and like the content that we're putting out, just hit the thumbs up. It's the easiest thing you can do. If you really like the content and you want to get updates on when we do content, all you got to do is subscribe. Then you hit the bell notification, and then you'll know when we have upcoming streams on YouTube. So that being said, we're ready to rock and roll. Last thing is give your greetings, say hi to me, say hi to anybody in chat. Give your greetings, skewers. You know the deal. I like to shout out everybody and say thank you for being here. You could be watching anything else, but you're watching us, and that's just the way it goes. Now, the way it works is we have a panel. It's on Zoom. It's whatever content creators want to join. I always leave the Zoom call open. So if they want to join us, all they got to do is just join the Zoom call. They've got the information. And if you are a content creator and for some reason you don't have the damn call and you want to join, you have to message me or tag me, whatever the kids like to do in the streets today, and I can get you in there. But can't help you if you don't help yourself. That's just the way it works. Good morning to everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are out there in the world. Maybe you're just waking up and having some coffee, some nice coffee. Or maybe it's afternoon tea, or maybe you're just having a nice brew at the pub. Who knows? Who knows? So, glad to have you here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Ray Rocks. Good morning, Ranger. Pickle Flashers, Wookie Strokers, Coffee Drinkers, and Donut Eaters. That's a new one. I didn't know we were adding donuts to the mix, but that's fine. I will not be participating in the donut eating, but that's fine. Jedi Rules to say from San Diego. What's going on, buddy? Welcome to Sandfly, the greatest Sandfly on the beach. Sandfly be hanging out in the New Year. Says Happy New Year, all. Hey, Happy New Year to you, Sandflies, all the Sandfly. Michael W. Huntington III from his man. Glad to have your MH and Sweary and Dancing Daughter. Tumblo Dry, the man with the best fro in the business, says, hello there, Ranger and Skewers and Skulls, y'all. That's right. Jeremiah Bouye says, hello, Ranger. Can't stick around, but have to stop in and flash my pickle for everyone. We appreciate that. That's what we appreciate about you. Thank you. Whittle 73 says, good morning. Happy New Year, peoples. Happy New Year. Whittle 73. And I think that's what we got so far. So everybody's coming in very nicely. CT Red Devil 27 says, good morning from Canada. That's right, buddy. Coming from Canada, eh? With your bag milk. It's pretty cool, eh? Not your friend, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy. Hey, 6 months membership from our good friend Jedi Rules. So 6 months of being a member of YouTube, plus 2 years of Twitch, plus being subscribed to all these years. It's been fun. Hey, I appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate every little bit helps, keeps me up and running and streaming. So I appreciate it. Yeah, get your questions in. We had fun last night. It was just myself. But Ram couldn't make it. Desi couldn't make it. Not a lot of people could make it last night. We did some GAC, had some fun. Had some strange shit happen again in GAC, man. What can you do? I'm looking at the GAC. I can't win because of that one fight. What are you gonna do? So we had fun with GAC last night. There's no point of even me doing ships because it's like, okay, when? That's right, CT. We need more money, buddy. Because if we get more money, we can get even more money, buddy. And then we can buy stuff for Canada, see? Great day for Canada. Therefore, Appreciate you, Jedi Rules. Appreciate you, CT Red Devils 27. We'll see what our content creators join. Sometimes we get a lot. Sometimes you don't have a couple. Sometimes it's just me. Man, that's fine. The engineer, choo choo, says, hello there. And Happy New Year to you, Ranger. Happy New Year to you. Engine number 9 on the transit line. There you go, buddy. Glad to see you here, engineer. Our train engineer joining us. Very nice. So yes, get the greetings in, get your coffee, get that caffeine ring rolling. You know what I mean? We like to interact with. This is an interactive stream, so you get me as talking as much as I get you guys talking. So it's a fair trade, equal value. Like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Eduardo. So yes. Upcoming stuff. Remember, guys, February 1st through the 4th, I'm going to be down in Orlando with Finn. We're going to be doing MegaCon and some other things as we wrap up our 2023 campaign for the ACS. So if you want to come join us there, join us in the Discord, get all the information, especially for the Orlando area or surrounding areas. You want to come join us and hang out. I'm going to be in the full Beskar costume. And we're going to be getting pictures and having fun and doing fun events, as we always do on these trips. So if you want to come join us February 1st to the 4th in Orlando, that's the big thing coming up for the Skier Nation. So please, love to see you guys there, get to hang out and everything. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. So looking forward to having you guys that come down there, getting to meet you guys if I haven't met you before. And those I haven't met before, it's going to be good to see you guys again. The engineer says, question, struggling to take out GLA in 5v5. What's the best thing to counter her one shot? Jabba with the Boschcron. Simple. It's I've done it every GAC round. Don't pass go. Do not collect $200. It's Jabba with the Boschcron. You will destroy it. I don't care what lineup they have for Leia. It's going to get eaten. Even if they have the Drogoncron, it's going to get eaten alive. So yeah. I got question, counter for Iden with the 400% Cron. Yeah, we actually ran in that with Heinze. We don't have a lot of information because it's so for Iden, I'm trying to think. What do we say we use there? I'm having a brain fart moment here real quick. So I had it, but it's not registering in my brain. I know Trey is one of them. Let me look this up real quick. I know Inquisitors is one, Trey is one, Radis is another one, and Gas is one too. Those are the 4 that I know of. If anybody has anything else, let me know. With the because Radis, you want a good defensive Cron to counter that. They just take the turns and then blow the team up. Trey, they're just killing themselves. Inquisitors just get loose, and then Gas is Gas. Those all have high winning percentages with the Cron, yeah. What else in 3 says, I use Bo Mandalore. Not sure if you have her set up yet. I don't have Bo Mandalore, so I'm going with the old goodies. The oldies but goodies. You use Jabba with Bosch Datacron, but timed out. Then I don't know what happened there, engineer, because I've been destroying Leia teams with that, so I'm not sure. It's the team you may want to look at your modding, maybe, because man, I ain't had any problems. I would just destroy every GL Leia lineup. Carl Carpage, oh good boy. Question, finally unlocked Malicos, very nice, but still have doubts about running him with Lord Vader. Seer Junda, still only 3 stars. Should I wail out on Seer or go ahead and try him with Lord Vader? You can use him with Lord Vader. The ideal team, and I think that with the current Datacron set and stuff, although that's going to be going away soon, but even without it, the Seer Ufu team with Malicos just has better synergy. You can use it for Lord Vader. He totally works. So for the time being, especially on defense, put him in there. If you got a Malicos Cron that's got defense stack and things of that nature, it's really a pain in the ass. Especially if you don't have Seer. But yes, Seer, the Seer, Fulcrum, Malicos crew, regular Cal combination is a nightmare to deal with. It is a pain in the ass. it does insane damage. Even without the Datacron, it's still going to be a nasty team to face because it just ramps, man. Then you've got 3 characters that are ramping their ass off, and it can be really gross and can get out of hand very quickly. So you have to go and correct with the right team. It's that good. So you don't have Seer. Lord Vader's a perfect one to use. And if you eventually get Seer, then yeah, that's the way to go. Mike says Jabba with Bosch, focus Drogon dead, then focus Leia and pit R2. I always go with the Drogon team. It's always Drogon first. And then if I can get to R2, I will. We got Han and Chewie in there. I'll take out Chewie next. So it'll go Drogon, Han, and then by that point, it's like go get R2, I usually leave Han for last. I mean, it's the stacking thermals will just eventually take Han out. So I really want to focus on Drogon first, get Chewie out of there. So get that buff off and then burn R2. If it's 2 tanks, then do your thing. But with Embo in there, you're going to dispel the taunts and then just go right after Drogon and then round the corner you go. You can do that too. I mean, I don't usually focus down Leia. I usually, by the 3-minute mark in the match, I've already killed most of the team, if not all. Then I just put on auto and Leia ain't doing shit. Even if she hits ultimate, you don't give a fuck. You're like, okay, I've got 5 people that are beating your ass. So yeah. That you can do that as well. No, mate, worked out. I wouldn't have enough mats in time, so I didn't pull the trigger. Oh yeah, the famous bow incident. Yeah. The engineer of the Leia team had Old Man and Captain Rex. Ben taunted a lot. Rex dazed the Hutts. Yeah, you want to wait till after that hits, and then you can use Jabba's cleanse. If you know that that's the setup, then wait for those to land. Do your other stuff with Jabba, and then once that hits, Leia does her thing and puts her debuffs on. Wait for Rex to do his AOE daze, then use Jabba's ability to cleanse, and then just go to town. So it could just be a move thing there. My question, did CG shoot themselves in the foot with Bo-Katan debacle? Yeah, I think so. I really did. And we said so when it came out. I was like, that's because they weren't getting any money from me. And I know a lot of people that they weren't getting money for. It's like, that pressure shit just doesn't work on us anymore. If it's within reason, we will. Like if it had come out like now, let's say Bo-Katan was getting ready to come out now, I would well a little bit for finish up Keller and Beck and get everything ready for Bo. But when you do it with 2 characters that are not even farmable, I mean, just go fuck yourself. You're not getting any cash from me, and you didn't get any cash from me. And I don't have any problem saying that. Oh, look, everybody. Oh, boy.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor. Top of the day to you. Hello, Nev. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. 10-0.
Very nice.
Yeah. Can't believe I've gone 10 straight wins.
Don't worry. You'll climb up, and then you're going to get shit on. Don't worry. It'll eventually happen.
I may be in Kyber 3, but my Kyber 4 group was made before my promotion to 3. So I'm getting Kyber 3 cheeky rewards, even though I'm in a group with Kyber 4 people. So
very nice.
Yeah, very cheeky. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Oh, James O'Mahony, my good Irish lad, says hello there in Skull indeed. Well, we're right into the thick of it, Nev, so you joined us at the perfect time. Carl, question. Glad to see Ida in bonus drops from Cantina, but why now? Seems weird timeless. Does CG maybe have some news for coming in 2024? No, but they just pick characters like that. We've seen it in the past with certain characters that they're just like, hey, why don't you finish this up? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, you need some help. Here's some help. Because there's a lot of, you got to think about it in the sense of there's a lot of players out there that are low tier, mid tier, or very low, high tier that have not had a chance to work on those teams. So anytime they can get one of those characters in the game with drops that they can help, like they've been doing packs and other things, they'll do that. It's really not
we used to look for the hidden meaning behind who the monthly monthly character was, because there was so little going on in the game back then.
What else in 3 says only 900 unlocked bow, expensive unlock. Yeah, I was not spending $500 that no. I'm sorry, you're not going to force me to spend for a character. Now I don't have it. Don't get me wrong. Again, if it had come out in January like we thought it was, but they didn't make it a permanent, and if they had made it a permanent event too, you would have seen more people spend because they just want to get it done, right? I would have spent a little to finish it off and have her for GAC, but they didn't. They just made it they just didn't give a shit. So
was this the new epic confrontation? Was it?
Yeah, with Bo. Yeah, with all the nonsense that happened with that. Yeah, so it's like, okay, if that's what you want to do, fine. Hey, if that's what you think is going to make you money, it didn't. Facts.
Did they
But
fuck around and find out? Did they?
oh yeah, if only 900 unlocked her.
900. Yeah, that's just the alpha consumers and nobody else.
Yeah, that's really low money though, Michael
Yeah.
Paulson. He says 900 locks about 500K to $1 million for CG. And you're assuming that people spent a lot of those that got it were like Karth and everybody that had already worked on the characters because they had nothing else to do. The Krakens, if you take half of that, they already had all the characters done,
Yeah.
and Relic because they just been working on it because they had nothing else going on. It's just what they do. So I don't think they, Interceptor says, "Hey Ranger, happy New Year and good morning. Good morning to you and happy New Year." Says the exact comp with Malikos is holding from right now. Threes as we. Oh, very nice. Yeah, the Malikos on Lord Schmader fucks. It fucks hard. Bane for the win. Yeah, we're waiting. I did Road Crate yesterday. I did it live on the GAC. I was like, now I'm just farming Datacron materials. Yeah, thank God I got it done. Hit me, Kimmy, one more time. Kimmy baby says, "Good morning, skewers, and happy New Year to you all. Happy New Year to you, Kimmy baby." Ray Rock says, "Hello, Governor." So does Jedi Rules. I'll give you a little bit of love.
Hello, governors.
Yeah, Ray Rock says, "Come up to me to K2, Nev, and we'll see how you do."
Yeah, no. I've not been in K2 since
since well before you were born.
Since November. November of last year.
Yeah.
No, November of the year before last.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you took a little bit of a break from all that shit.
Yeah, because the datacrons were like, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Datacrons, I mean, it's really wearing on people, man. It really is. Man, watching Heinz last night, he's more tip of the spear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, those datacrons are just, oh my God. Everything just has to go perfectly. And Heinz has all the datacrons for offense, but one misplay or something along those lines, or you get bad RNG, Jesus Christ, you have no shot, man. It's super demoralizing. CG's going to wake up on Datacrons, man. They're losing players because of it. And, all we can do is just tell them, Nev. All we can say is, hey.
My opponent, my last round opponent, had 27 datacrons to my none. I still beat them.
It can happen. But I mean, lower tiers is different,
those
right?
low-level buyers that are spending huge amounts to get, lots at level 4 and level 5. I mean, most of the datacrons that I came up against in the last round were given like maybe 10 to 20% extra stats and maybe a couple of bonus green stats right at the start of the match. The only one I struggled with was Jabba. Because it was to start off with, it was the Boosh. Is there a Boosh datacron out there at the moment?
Oh yeah.
See, that's what I got screwed up right at the start, and I couldn't get past him in the end. So, but that was it. That was the only one that I was able. Yeah, it was fun being able to beat my opponent because I had no datacrons and they had 2. Yeah, it was pain in the ass.
What else went through? That's kind of true. Even at 12.4, I didn't have anything else to work on, so I unlocked Bo Mandalore. Of course you did, yeah.
Yeah.
Mary J says, "Join the crew of SWGOH experts. Didn't ever retire." LOL. Mary J trolling him immediately this morning. I hope you have your coffee. Here he comes.
My coffee's not here yet.
Oh my sweet God.
No, the trolling will work until I get my coffee.
Tumble says, "Just make them meh like the last set." I mean, this last set of Datacrons, I mean, the stats are blech, but it's the mechanics. The stacking offense, is what you're looking for. The certain scoundrel Datacrons that are set level 6. First, you want the one for Heart Cartel. Vet Han's not bad. If you want to run it on a Wookiee squad, the Africron is nice. But really, for me, outside of those couple that I wanted, and I've got them already at level 9, I'm just taking everything to 8. And I've got a lot of them that are stacking offense because those are nasty, especially with these defense crons. Now, when the defense crons go away, I think these offense stacking ones are going to be really nice. And it's going to change. We have to see what the new datacrons is going to be with their stats. It'll probably more defense stats again, but they did some strange shit with this last set. Just special resist. I mean, you're asking players to try to figure out what all this stuff is and equals and what for what team. I mean, you're getting keep it simple, stupid. That's an old saying from the military.
Keep it simple. Yeah, it is.
And if you don't do that, you mean you're just You're wearing players out, man. You really are these Datacron sets. I think Datacrons. I they've gotten the feedback. We've done the surveys. We've said what we thought about Datacron. CG doesn't give a shit about it. They think they know better. You know, it's an easy way for them and a lazy way for them to try to make GAC interesting instead of trying to do other more creative stuff, in my opinion. And I just think it's missed. It's completely missed. And yeah, they make money off Datacrons, but they make money because people, you know, it's another pressure campaign. It's not that people like investing in Datacrons. They don't have a choice. You know, it's either you invest or you don't give a shit and you get your ass handed to you. If you don't mind getting your ass handed to you, then you're just like, fine, screw it. You know, so,
Yeah.
but that's not for me, not a good, powerful, motivating way to get players excited about your game. You know,
No.
it's not something, you know, I invest in Datacrons, but I do it because I have to. If I want to be somewhat competitive, I
Yeah.
have to invest. Are you over there filing your nails?
Yeah, damn right I
You're
am.
so bougie.
You seen how long these bad boys are?
Just cut them like a man.
I can't cut them like a man.
What do you mean? You take a
So
pair
I
of
file them like a metrosexual man.
No, you take a pair of or clippers and you just clip them off. I mean, it's not hard.
I've tried that before. I tried that before. It hurts.
It hurts.
My fingernails are. Have you seen how thick my fingernails are? I've got fingernails like 2 millimeters thick. It's ridiculous. Tried cutting them in the army when I was last time I cut them was 2003. It was like, yeah, no, not doing that. So
Okay,
nail file, nail file instead.
Cut my nails. The wolf. He robbed from the poor to give to the rich. That's Wolf. Robin Hood, SWGOH. Wolf, why don't you join us on the Jedi Cat? If you're in the goddamn chat, if you need the link, mess me in Discord, you psycho. You should be in here and probably working. It's usually why he's not in here. He says, I don't know, man. Some of the Datacrons are super fun to use. It's just the touch crap that nobody wants to deal with that makes us hate Datacrons. Well, yeah, I mean, there are aspects that you can be fun, right? But the vast majority of it with these crazy defense and stacking defenses and all this other stuff that just are like the stats, they're just ridiculous on, you know, it just makes it just, oh,
not
God.
fun.
No, not fun.
Enjoyable.
Not enjoyable.
Not enjoyable. Yeah. Having to, I mean, like you said, most people don't want to have to sit there and work out what the extra stats are going to do to their team, let alone sit there and work out what those datacrons are doing to their opponent's team.
Yeah,
you know, so it's almost, I suppose, isn't the easiest way is like people just try and like cancel out datacrons, so they're spending huge amounts of money, and lots of time in. Is it conquest where the ends of the conquest,
I mean, that's the other thing that they're forcing is
people
conquest.
People forced to do conquest, people forced to do datacrons just so that they can try and get something that it's like, well, I've got this, so this will be good for cancelling out something. So it seems like an awful lot of effort to go to try and cancel out what your opponents put down on defense against you. Just, that's not fun. That's not enjoyable.
Jamie says nobody wants to spend resources on disappearing datacrons, but CG thinks it makes money. I'm not sure it does. I don't know what the numbers are, but I don't think it's worked out in their benefit the way they thought it was going to be. I mean, to me, datacrons was a mechanic to, you know, change up GAC. You know, it's like, okay, but you went extreme with it.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, for the amount of stats and stuff that you need if you want to be somewhat competitive with datacrons, and resources on re-rolling and getting the right stats and getting the right abilities and things of that nature, man, it is a heavy time sink and spending sink. It is a lot, and they're temporary. Every 3 months we got to sit there and redo our whole thinking about what datacrons and stuff that we want to use, and they're so frustrating to face because those that invest heavily in datacrons or get the right datacron roll with a certain datacron and you face it, you got no shot, man. You know, if you don't have the right datacron and you're facing, say, you know, you use SLK against Lord Vader and they've got that nasty stacking defensive cron, man. I've seen it where you just get destroyed. Especially if you don't have it, because the team just goes bananas on you. You have to have the right counter to it and stuff, and you just have to roll and re-roll, and then you're doing all this for each GAC, and then it goes away, and then you got to rethink everything, and then look at the next things, and then you got to spend time roll and trying to get it. It's I don't know. I don't find it enjoyable. I don't find We've been screaming at them for the top of the stat. The thing that I think your GLs are where you see the most ridiculousness with datacrons. And there's some other teams you can make a good argument for how it affects them, but Galactic Legends, man, they're stupid enough to face anyway, and they have their counters and stuff, and it's pretty well balanced there. But it goes out the door when you get some of these stacking ridiculous crons and stuff. It's really crazy, man.
Yeah, having a 3, what was it? I threw C, I threw C at Jabba as a Hail Mary because that was all I had left, and it got timed out.
The Wolf says, because if datacrons exist, the only way GC would have some variety would be either new or new Omicrons, so either will your ass off or learn permanent new kits. And Fly says, I prefer card against the endless new overpowered teams, forcing me to pride as new characters over past projects. Well, y'all make it seem like that's the only option we have. Now, I love Omicrons. I thought Omicrons really changed GAC and brought other teams up. You had your GL counters, but then you had these Omicrons and these A teams that really shot them up. What's some other options besides datacrons, or just the way they currently had it up? We got some intelligent people here in the chat, and I wouldn't consider myself one of them, but there could be some good ideas on how we could spice up GAC that doesn't involve datacrons in the old system. I'm sure we could find something out there that might be a little bit better than what we've got in both cases. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
No, they could have made datacrons brilliant back when they first came out. I was like, you don't do it with GLs. You get rid of all of this currency crap. Sure, have one currency that you have to collect in order to level up the datacron, fine. But having to collect a currency and this and that and that, and you need different ones at different levels, and the different levels have to be a different a different relic. They made it way too convoluted. They could have made it so much more basic, and they could have still made money from it. They could have still had it so that you could buy the datacrons and you could buy the currency to upgrade them, but they did it the wrong way, and then the whole disappearing after 3 months, that just they should have just sacked off the GLs at the start. They should have sacked off the 3-month thing at the start and all those various different currencies. Just one new currency to buy your datacron and upgrade your datacron. That's all they needed.
Sopper says, hello, Ranger. Hello, Sopper. Who's that fellow on the left? That would be our good friend, Nev. And also joining us is Scribbles. Princess Scribbles just joined us. Oh, my God. Never claim they're perfect, but datacrons serve function, which adds some variety to the counters.
What's going on, guys?
That's a good thing.
We're
just talking about datacrons that came
Go away. The token Englishman has returned.
He's Welsh, you son of a...
The token Brit has returned. You can go away now. You can retire.
Oh,
hello,
yeah,
mate.
We can't have too many Brits in one call.
You can't have too many Brits. No, you can't have to. When DB left, I was like, yes, now's my chance.
I have the market cornered.
Yeah, I'm going to sneak in there. And
hope you're good, Nev, mate.
Here's a thought for datacrons: make them last longer, bring down the stats, have the abilities be more permanent, so it's a lot longer lasting. So every 6 months instead of every 3 months, have a set. Change it out, let people get used to the counters, have the stats not as harsh, give some variety on some of the things, the abilities, and maybe that may be a fix. Again, it's just the ridiculousness of some of these stats. It's not that it just changed counters, it makes it almost unbeatable, especially if you don't have the right counter to it. So it's like it really takes away from GAC when, like, if you go into a certain fight and you don't have the right RNG and it doesn't work out, you're basically boned, man. I'm watching some pyro fights like, Jesus H Christ, what is happening? It's nutso on this stuff. Yeah. It's not that they're listening to feedbacks, but they just think that they know better, Wolf. And it's that, listen, man, the community is in the surveys and stuff. They listen to the feedback. They lowered where you can use datacrons, but they're not listening to about the stats and stuff. Yeah, in some ways they're listening. We're like, giving people more access at lower levels, I think, is a good thing. But again, there's some things we can do to improve them. If we're going to keep datacrons, man, they got to be improved. I think lowering the stats, making the abilities, making them last longer. So it's just, but they're using it as a way to make people do conquest because people have conquest. So now they've tied datacrons to that. It's just all linked in together. I just think there's just better ways we could be making GC more entertaining. But I mean, what do I know? Oh, I know I'm not the only one giving feedback, but a lot of the feedback I'm giving is from a lot of vast majority of players I'm talking to that are giving me the same feedback. They don't like datacrons. Now, you may like them, and that's okay. I don't think, if you enjoy something, I'm never going to tell you that, that don't enjoy something, just because I hate broccoli and you love broccoli, that means you're wrong, and vice
Broccoli's
versa.
delicious.
Yeah. See, I can't stand broccoli. Scribe loves broccoli.
Horrible stuff.
There's no right or wrong answer there.
I will fight you.
There's no such thing as a nice cruciferous vegetable. It just doesn't exist. Oh, actually, all right. Spinach. I'll give spinach a pass.
I love spinach salads, man. I get the shit out of that.
Yeah, you fry up some spinach and some butter and garlic, salt. It's delicious.
Well, in my opinion, it does.
Roll it in pork. Roll it in a pork fillet with some cream cheese and some sun-dried tomatoes.
It doesn't make it good either, Wolf. I mean, I can say that too. It's a subjective opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving my feedback and from what I've heard and from what I talk about with players all the time. The datacrons, it's too extreme, man. It's just way too extreme for a temporary thing that we have to constantly work on. That just, they've got to tone it back. And I think there could be more fun ways to engage in GAC. I thought they did a really good move with Omicrons. I've always been a big fan of Omicrons. I really like the idea of taking teams that were kind of in GAC that were forgotten about and characters that were forgotten about, and then uplifting that. And it's like, okay, we have more options now. That's really good.
It's honestly a bit of a shame because they've kind of taken they've taken a step back from applying Omicrons to older sort of legacy characters now, and we see them obviously on every new character, but it was really neat when we got things like the Wampa Omicron and the Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron. They're really uplifted, like very old characters that were basically useless. We don't really see it anymore. I remember we used to get like 3 or 4 would all drop in one day. It would be like, Qui-Gon Jinn gets one, and IPD is getting one, and Asajj Ventress is getting one. It was like, it was cool. It was, Krennic that nobody
that character that no one uses. Exactly.
And
there's a reason
to
still don't use them.
They're hit or miss, but it was kind of cool when they come around. I always got excited to see. I like, wow, this like off the wall character has got an Omicron. I wish they'd go back and do that some more. Give us some cool additional Omicrons.
Yeah, I wish we were getting into better drop rate in the Omicrons. I don't know why it's still been as low as it's been, because with the addition that they're doing, because we saw this with Zetas. Eventually, Zetas got to the point where, and if you played the game long enough, you started getting a nice cache of Zetas, and it really wasn't as much of a struggle. We do see the struggle now because we know players that are getting all those new packs. They don't have that vast horde of Zetas because they're still low tier, mid tier.
I literally ran clean dry out of Zetas recently after unlocking GL Leia. Like, bam. Like, first time in years, I literally was completely bone dry, no Zetas. I'm like, oh, I still haven't recovered because, almost every new character now has, 2 to 3 Zetas each. So it's just like, I'll just throw that on you. And so it's kind of come back again, but I think this is still almost a short-term problem for long-term players. It's just like, you'll farm up the Zetas, you'll put them on new characters, and then you'll be okay again. It's like, but
it just takes time. Agree. Yeah, there's better drop rates and places for Zetas, but Omicrons are still behind the 8 ball, I feel, with the drop rates, because Zetas are important, but the Omicrons can be game changing with some of them. There's a big difference between the Omicron on the new Rex than not having that Omicron on Rex with the Phoenix team. It's a GAC Omicron. It makes a difference.
Oh, God, yeah.
There's a difference. There's a difference between fighting a Starkiller team on defense in TW without the Omicrons, even with the Datacron, than it is with those Omicrons on Juhani. Oh my God.
Yeah, if you've got like Juhani and Starkiller, Marjade Omicrons on that TW defensive team, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's a totally different fight than without it. So, but we'll see. I mean, they're very tentative when it comes to the economy of Star Wars. Galaxy Heroes. So it's just I'm used to them just being
Well, I
overly
mean,
cautious.
how many years did it take for them to address and fix the carb crunch? You know, I now consider that crunch to basically be over with the raid currency the way it is. You can just buy so many carb antis in any given week now doing the new raid that it's almost a non-issue now, carb antis. But like that thing was a crunch for like 6 years. I mean, it's only just been fixed. So I don't expect them to address the Omicron crunch. And to be honest, I'm not even sure if I mind that, because it's almost like it feels like your decisions in the game should matter. Yeah. And when you have a limited resource, it means that where you decide to spend those resources then matter. So if it's actually a difficult choice about, am I going to throw this TW Omicron on, or am I going to throw it on a GAC Omicron? I think that adds meaning to it. And I'm okay with that at the moment, the way it is right now. Because I feel like I can earn enough just about to push things, but not enough that I'm just like willy-nilly throwing.
You got to be strategic about it. But I think with the way they're releasing characters, that they're starting to get, with Omicrons, like you get, and we always look at it like, which ones can we not put on, right? Because we've done that in the past with a lot of characters.
Yeah, for sure.
Star Killer to Ben to things of that nature.
All of them, just throw them all on.
But when you got 3 on Bo and 3 on Bane coming around the corner, for those that didn't get Bo the first time, and then Bane going to be, because they're going to be right around the corner, both coming out about the same time. I know I was in the same boat. That's 6, and it takes a long while. Now I do like that they've added some extra places to get Omicrons, but it we'll see. Eventually it'll reach a point to it's like, okay, but yeah,
I'm really hoping that they're able to strike the balance between the value in Omicrons a bit better in the future, because I have to call it out, but that Scout Trooper Omicron is just absolute garbage. Yeah. It is the worst Omicron in the game, apart from maybe Sorties, because Sorties is just bone useless. But like that Scout, like the Scout Omicron, it can hit 2.7 million with certain teams in the new raid, right? But you can do Akbar Scout, no Omicron, and still hit 2.7 million. So what value does that Omicron add? It's just nothing.
I put it on. I thought about it.
So I put it on for making a video, and I'm mad about it.
That's what I was doing. That's what I was going to do, and then I was like, now let Scribe take the bullet. I'll take the hit, because I did the last one on the video where I did that with Jedi Cal for the TV.
Oh yeah.
And that one turned out to be valuable as hell, man. That thing is gross good.
I think Jedi Cal's one are actually really, really good. I haven't done it yet myself because I'm really stingy with Omicrons, which is again why I'm annoyed at the Scout Trooper one.
The fight is so easy. Well, as long as you don't
Jedi Cal's great.
Yeah, you don't shit the bed and do the wrong thing like I did that one fight. But everything I've beaten it every time. So yeah. Philique says, I think I'm in a small beneficial free to get Datacron's group. I'm at 7.7 in Kyber 2, and they help a lot punch up to those big accounts, 10 million GP. Otherwise, for the rest, it's very toxic. It's and again, everyone's experience with the Datacrons are going to be different too. At what level of the game you're at, because I know low tier, mid tier players, man, once in a while they'll run somebody that has a Datacron that spend on it, but they don't really see it the way that you start when you get into Kyber 2 and 1, man. That's where you really start seeing the effects of Datacrons. Community Baby says Datacrons pushed a bunch of people away from the game. That's true. It became a way to ruin competitive fair play in GAC. I farm the stuff through Conquest, but never spend on them. I don't spend on Datacrons. I don't think anybody here spends on Datacrons. I farm in Conquest, and I don't like whatever reroll mats and stuff we get from TW, things of that nature. I'll reroll and try to get certain stats, but it takes me longer. So by a certain point, I will have the ones that I need, but it takes me a little bit longer to say someone who spends like Heinze has like. Good God, Heinze has so many ridiculous Datacrons.
It does depend, like where you draw the line on, do I spend on Datacrons? Because for me, I never specifically buy crystals so that I can farm Datacrons or anything like that.
Yeah.
I will do 6 refreshes of Conquest every day. I still consider that as I don't buy Datacrons, but I'm spending a significant amount of crystals each day during Conquest in order to not only red box Conquest, but also get a decent pile of Datacrons, because they are that impactful in PvP elements of the game. There are some people, like you say, Heinze, and there's so many more people worse than Heinze. I say worse than Heinze. People that spend more than Heinze that I've got just literally 30 level 9 datacrons that have been,
re-rolled
to an inch of their life. And those people are just dropping so much money on it. And that's great for them.
Yeah, it's tip of the spear.
Like it's absolutely, if they're happy to do that, then
I have no problem with that.
You keep the doors open for the rest of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you for keeping the lights on, guys.
I said my opinion of Datacrons is just my opinion. I'm just seeing the negative impact overall it's having on players, even at the tip of the spear, man. Like I've seen a lot of these guys at the tip of the spear. They're just getting tired of it. They just it wears on you, man. It really does. Trying to stay up there, and your only choice is to stay up there, or drop down, right? That's your choice, But for me, I look at GACs like as long as I can stay in Kyber, which I'm Kyber 1, which I'm doing, go 5 and 4, 6 and 3, move up a little bit each time, and then I'm fine with it. The squish keeps taking 30, 40 points away, but yeah. A lot of people don't play heavy defense anymore. Certain specific teams, it used to be some strategy on heavy defense GAC, but you can't do that because of Datacrons. You have to be very strategic.
I've switched up myself, just going into round 2, simply because of like Toxic Layer and the Bauschkron. I'm pretty heavy on defense, like 5-6 GLs on defense, and then just try and full clear as much as I can. But there's so many off-meta counters to GLs these days that a lot of people can just clear through no matter how many GLs you place down. So I'm just like, I think I had 3 GLs on defense this last round, and it's the least I've had in like a year plus on defense.
Yeah, you're gonna put Rey, I put Lord Vader, and I put Bosch actually on, or not Bosch, Leia on defense. Like, okay, use Jabba there.
Yep.
You're not using it somewhere else, and then I'll put on some really other strong teams because. It's why. I mean, now I'm going to lose this round of GAC, but that has nothing. That's just because we had a really weird interaction with Maul Mandos with Imperial Troopers, where Jesus, it's just one of those things. It's just like, okay, so I'm going to lose because of that. That pretty much straight up. That's just the way it's going to go sometimes, and I don't mind that. But again, 5 and 4 for me, 6 and 3. 7 and 2 because I've done that here a couple times recently. It's like, okay. And getting crystals, do the fights. If the fights go poorly, I just don't stress about it. I hate Datacrons, but I don't stress about that. Like, okay, I know what it is. I've got the counters. I know what's going to happen. So it's like, okay. And I like to have a bit of fun. We will do stuff like we did in the first round. It's like, okay, we got a 4 GL wall here, and we cleared, like you just said, Scribe, I cleared 3 of them without using the GL. Jabba got the Afro treatment, destroyed it. Rey got the Starkiller treatment, destroyed it, right? Because I've got the right Quran. And then I can't remember the other one we used. Oh, Inquisitors versus JMK is like winning, So we did that, and of course, I got to use Jabba versus Leia because it just eats it alive. You're not going to use anything else versus that.
It's just a super reliable counter, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and I've only ever seen or heard of it losing like once or twice if they focus down your Bausch really early, and because they get called to action, they can taunts and stuff like that, so they can theoretically kill Bausch very quickly, but it's so unlikely. And even if they do, you're going to kill a few people at the team, and then it becomes an easier cleanup. So I would rather save myself the head when it comes to Toxic Layer. Even if I'm not going to face it, I'd rather just keep my Jabba and be like, yeah, I'm saving Jabba. Jabba will just get killed by Datacron Afro anyway, so
yeah. So yeah,
save it for offense.
Save for offense. Gamey says, I think it's perfectly fine for CG to make money, but I don't like that they can just take away stuff that people paid for. If they were permanent like Omicrons, it would be better for me. Yeah, everything else in this game pretty much is permanent, unless I'm missing my characters, anything you work for mods, although that's RNG. But gear, once it's on, right? Omicrons, Zetas, all that stuff that you work on.
Not all Omicrons. Even Omicrons and teams that you invest in have a shelf life, right? So, for example, the Scout Trooper Army, that's once this raid goes, it's going to be even more useless.
It was like, was there one for Jabba that was like that? The Bosch, was it Bosch that had the
but and hers was really good, and CG actually did a smart thing there by halving the cost of that one. They dropped it down to 10 Omnis to purchase. I got it then, and it was worth its weight in gold because the amount of hassle it saved you, the amount of resets it saved me over the 6 months or so of run rate, and the fact that you could short man teams for full score, like that was huge to me. Like I've got that obviously, and I do not regret it slightest. Who knows? Maybe someday in the future we'll get another raid where Bausch comes back and is a usable character for the raid, and we get to double dip. But there are things with pre-shelf life, but I think that datacrons are probably A, the most expensive, and B, the most gregarious of them all, because it is just like it's 4 months and all that money is just like it's completely gone. Well, not all, completely gone. You do get some of the breakdown back, but it's a fraction of what in. And that's a bit shitty, to be honest. But
as I said, I think if we made datacrons a little bit longer shelf life, right? Instead of every 4 months, we went 6 months, right? And give people time. Do an offense set, pull down the stats on them. Well, if you had it to where it was more balanced, right? Where the datacrons was...
If it was more balanced, yeah.
Because I couldn't imagine a little bit
6
more...
months of that 15% additional stacking stats for GLs.
Right, see, that's the thing. That's got to be
defense.
That's got to be pulled down. You know what I'm saying? But, if you want to make it 6 months, pull down the stats and some of that crap, right? To where it can help you. But it's not so ridiculous that people are pulling their hair out trying to fight some of this stuff, right?
Oh my god! One of the many reasons why I'm bald.
It depends. They'd have to redo it, Wolf. I'm not saying as their current iteration, but I mean, if you pull down the stats a little bit and make some of the abilities good, but not like the stacking offense and stacking defense. Especially on GLs is where you lose me a little bit because it really makes the fights awful. How many of us have faced Ray with that stacking defense shit and everything that's on that Datacron? You're just like, oh my god, I'm going to lose mine.
She held for me in this last round of GAC.
Know, right?
Thank you, Ray.
So yeah, just tone them down a little bit longer. Give more abilities and more characters that you can get abilities on instead of just 1 or 2 factions at a time. You want to do the new shinies and stuff, and have them where that set's there, and you just want to say, hey, we're adding an additional these 2 characters to this Datacron set. You could do that, but I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there, so yeah.
Oh my,
that's a fair point.
Well, actually just come back in GAC.
Wolf says, I don't know if I trust enough to balance it properly. Yeah, that's true. Well, if I have hope.
Well, I mean, they said themselves, haven't they, that if they don't quite strike the balance right for these datacrons, they don't mind because they're temporary. They're gone in 4 months. So we're not fix them, leave them, and y'all can just get over it later. So if there was 6 months, I'd be like, oh, man. Although they did fix the Nisa datacron. Do you remember that one was busted where in reviving
really
Ewoks, it was reviving all characters? My Ray caught people by surprise there. Nisacron with Ray and Nisa just like revives on a Ray team is horrendous.
Yeah.
I'm glad they fixed that one.
Good morning, Desi Jingle Snarf Snarf. Oh, Snarfy Snarf.
Desi! Snarf Snarf.
Yeah, Sopper, Wolf, good points. Do we even trust them to do anything good? Balance has never been the strongest thing, so. Oh, lordy.
Hey, man, like the art team usually knocks it out of the park.
There's certain parts.
Good stuff.
Yeah, trust me. The art team has gone leaps and bounds. They really have stepped up their game. In certain events, I always talk about like last year, we gave before last year at Academy, like year in review. What's good and what's bad. There were certain events, like as shitty as Leviathan was, and that was a disaster. That was a dumpster fire. I thought the Jedi Cal one was really good. So I try to be fair.
It was actually. Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Jedi Cal event.
Is it a good event?
That's a very good event.
I'm ready for that. I've got all the others at Git. I've got all the characters, and they're all relict, and I'm ready to do that event. So it actually makes.
It's a lot of fun. It's very well. Yeah. It's very well done. It's very.
It's cool.
Cinematic and iconic.
Is it like the polar opposite for the Inquisitor event?
Yes. They're totally different. Yeah, totally different thing.
Oh, good. I'm looking forward to it then.
I just had a lot. If you played Jedi Survivor, or not Survivor, Fallen Order, then it really captured the moments and boss fights and things of that nature in that game. I thought they did a great job with that. But then
it's good. Yeah, they don't do enough of that sort of stuff. So it's not, when it does happen, it's like, it's novel. I know it's only like 6 seconds worth of film or CGI or animation, but it's 6 seconds that feels worthwhile. It's like, that was cool. Good job, CG. Good job.
Yeah. Kimmy says, off topic, who was your everyone's favorite new tune of 2023? Mine was Marin. Oh, he even doesn't need to get a room. Oh, good Marin, and Desi's just screaming joy and happiness. I know, Scribe, what was your favorite character from 2023? Pondering.
From which perspective? From like a gameplay perspective?
Just overall, you can add whatever you want into. It's kind of an open-ended question.
That's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. The character like this, maybe this isn't the right answer, but the character I'm most excited for that came out in 2023 is Kelleran Beck. I don't have him, but I so want him.
Yeah,
he just looks like so much awesome fun, man.
Jedi Cal for me was the character that I got and that came out this past year that I really had a lot of fun. And I'll throw a ship in there, TIE Defender, man. I think that was an awesome yeah, TIE Defender.
Was that really this year? God damn.
Last year? Yeah, I think
I can't even remember.
Year. I don't remember, but that made a huge difference, I think, in the fleet. TIE Defender. Am I wrong on that?
TIE Defender is absolutely phenomenal ship. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't actually know when that came out. I'm going to have to check that.
Beginning of last year?
It could well be. Could well be last year, yeah.
But yeah, Jedi Cal is
January.
Yeah.
January last year.
Look at Old Ranger. Doing something. Don't get used to it. Jedi Cal, man, that was he's so much fun. He is so much fun to use and play. God, you just enjoy it. I'm a little biased because we are fellow Gingivitis brothers, but
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Oh, I will. I acknowledge my biases. Yeah. Nev, any character?
So I'll actually say that it's Captain Rex. Us fellow bald guys have to stick together. And Captain Rex was great. To be honest.
Good character.
I don't think I use any of the. I'm trying to think of any of the new characters that I might actually use in my roster, but I'm free to play, so I'm still playing catch up on stuff.
Did anything get you excited when you saw it last year? You were like, "Oh my god!"
I did. I was very, very much amused with the Kelleran Black because I'm like, okay, so it's Jar Jar without Jar Jar. You know, he gets a cameo in a show, and then they bring him to the game, and it's like, okay, I get it. I get it.
Phenomenal.
Well, I haven't. I mean, he's not farmable yet, so I haven't even. No. I haven't even moved him beyond. I've literally. I've only got. I've got the Scout Trooper at 50 of 100. And I've got 2 other characters. I'm literally, there's only 3 things I can farm at the moment. So it'd be nice for them to hurry up and, here you go. You can start farming this one now. Cause
we should be getting Grogu probably in the next couple of weeks, I imagine.
Yeah, I think this week will be Grogu. If not the latest. Kelleran Beck's release was weird because they fast tracked him to shipments. For the Bow event, so they may come out together. Who knows? I don't know what they're going to do with those characters.
I'd be ecstatic for that, and I am hoping that we get an early return for Bo-Katan.
I'd like to, but I don't have hope for that. After their last couple of releases, it's like, Oh, here's a good question from our good friend Jedi Rules. Question: what grade would you guys give CG for 2023? Ooh. What grade? Like from like.
Oh, right.
A being awesome, A+ being the best, to F, you farted on yourself. You failed your hand. What do you think there?
I'll go C.
C, okay.
C, because I'm an average, middle of the road player. I'm free to play. I don't spend. And what they did this year was just enough to keep me engaged, to not want to quit the game. So that's a C. They did enough for me to think, yeah.
All right, Scribbles, what do you got for me?
I'm going to go with like a B+. I'm a little bit more on the positive side because I feel like I'll call CG out when I feel like they do shit that I'm not happy with. See my rant of Bo-Katan, right? But I feel like there's a lot that they did this year that was actually really good. Like those speed bundles, I think were amazingly good value, and I think that they were for the right characters because it's kind of more for legacy characters, right? That helped newer players catch up and get an experience of endgame. You could get, and I'm everybody knows I spent so much gear, hundreds of Chirotech gearing up all my first order, and I unlocked Chiron 2 days before the Lightspeed bundles dropped. So I wasted shitloads of gear that I could have just spent $9.99 for in there immediately, and I'm still happy about those Lightspeed bundle packs. I think they were great. I think they were perfect, and it's so rare for us to see the value from CG packs that I thought it was just phenomenal. That's not the only thing I think they've done right. You know, I think that the changes that they've made to the raid, not a big fan of the actual raid mechanics, but the changes to a 6-day wait period, doubling up the currency, I think that's huge. We addressed burnout. I think things like the new characters that we're getting are super cool. The fact that we get Darth Bane coming to the game, I think that's really cool. We're getting Bo-Katan, Mandalore, really cool characters. We got Jedi Cal this year, really cool characters. We've got, like I said, TIE Defense. So there's really good stuff coming out. And we've hit a stride now where I think everybody knows what to expect each year. Like I get one capital ship coming up probably in the next 4 months. We're going to get a new GL probably around June, July period. And then we'll get a new raid by the end of the year. And we'll get a new legacy character similar to Bo-Katan Mandalore that we got this year. I like that sort of structure to the game. So nothing really surprises me. And Galactic Chases, I think, are phenomenal. About 5,000 crystals, 6 crystals. You get yourself a ship at 7-star. I think they've done a pretty good job, despite all the heavy bugs that have introduced.
See, that's why my grade
positive this year.
My grade is a C+. I'm kind of with Kimmy Baby. Maybe a B-. I could be talked into it. Yeah, all that stuff you mentioned is good, but I'm sorry. The releases this year outside of Jedi Cal were bad. And the bugs that existed in this game and the problems that exist in this game were really, really bad. Leviathan itself really was
it was a cluster
bomb. Just awful. You know, all the stuff of the events like Leia Tier 2 and just all this other stuff that has been going on, that it's just been a constant problem. And I agree with you with all those points. And I love the Lightspeed bundles. I like a lot of stuff they do. Again, Jedi Cal was really good, but everything else, you can have a great character kit, but if it doesn't work, what's the goddamn point? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, it can look cool, it could have a cool kit, but if it's non-functioning and people are spending money, I got to go C+ on this for them. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of good positive things, and I do agree with a lot of your points, but you know, as good as the good was, the bad was really, really fucking bad this year. I can't sugarcoat it for myself because it's like the frustration.
The Leviathan release was an absolute mess,
horrible.
to be honest. And it took months and months to fix.
Yeah, it did take a long time to fix.
I was so annoyed by the Leviathan release just because from a power perspective, I thought it was completely wrong. You know, partly because of the bugs that existed within the kit, but it just didn't feel like it was the next meta ship at all. It was getting trounced by. Granted, I know the Profundity is considered to be a top tier meta, but the Profundity should not be 3-manning the latest ship release for maximum banners. Like that is just utterly asinine. That should not happen. I don't mind it winning, but at least make it a challenge. At least make it take banners or have a degree of RNG or something. Because why are people spending 25,000 crystals refreshing a meta event to get things unlocked day one if it gets absolutely mollywopped by the last meta? It's like, what's the point? What's the point? We don't need. I don't need to rehash my argument with that, but rubbed me the wrong way pretty bad.
Yeah,
I'm glad they kind of fixed it.
I'm going to take from context of what you're saying that they still haven't brought back a beta team.
No.
Otherwise, you know, what you're saying would never have been an issue because a bunch of people would have tested it and gone, your new ship's getting destroyed by Profundity. You might want to do something about that. They used to, I mean, CG used to listen to just individual people. When the Houndstooth first came out, it was a complete and utter load of dog shite. And Warrior did a big video saying, you can't release this. You can't make us spend $300, $400, $500 for the ship and it be a complete and utter bag of shite. And 24 hours later, they redid it and it's now one of the best ships that's ever been and still is.
They definitely overcompensated with Houndstooth.
But
because that thing was just in every single fleet.
Yeah.
For like 2 years. And every ship that came after it was almost like, how can this ship deal with the Houndstooth? And if it's a tank, how can we make people use this ship instead of Houndstooth, which will just be better? they painted themselves into a corner so hard with that one. But no, I get where you're coming from. Beta teams are important.
They're very, 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 very important. Dalton Miles, konnichiwa. Sato. Konba. And Tilamad's in the chat. Hello, Tilamad. Hey, he's not working on a Saturday for once. He's actually able to hang out. That's pretty cool. Question from Dalton says, who would you like to see CG make a GL for the droid faction? Actually, that's not even on my radar, bro. God.
GL for droids? That would be. But I mean, they could always go with something stupidly cheesy. Like, what was that droid called that was in? Wasn't there a droid in Obi-Wan Kenobi that was purely there for marketing purposes?
We're talking Galactic Legend, you know.
Right. So it's not like an OP.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the show, so I don't know what the droid's like.
I can't even think of a droid that's in the Star Wars universe, and I'm like, yeah, that's a GL. I'm really pulling.
I can't think of anything outside R2 units and protocol droids. I'm trying to think of other.
We've got a lot of the main known droids. I'm just going through my brain, going.
I mean, clearly it has to be Dio from the sequels, right? I mean, doesn't Dio mean God in some language?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of one, man. The one I think the question I keep getting asked is, what do you think is the GL for this year? I'd be shocked if it wasn't Revan. Is it possible? Absolutely. But I mean,
Italian word for God. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So there we go. It's Dio.
But I think
he's literally God.
There you go. But I think the next GL will be through Revan. You know, whichever version, Revan Reborn, or whatever you want to call him. Yeah, I think the community's spoken on that one. But that doesn't mean that's what they're going to do. We do know that we're around the corner with. We've got episode 1 coming around the corner. We've been saying that since last year, that, you know, once we started seeing that we're going to turn to the Jedi, like, they're going to do something for the 25th anniversary of episode 1. We're going to get Padawan, Kenobi, and some other characters, possibly Gungans. This could be the year of the Gungans, and I hate to say it, but it could be the year.
It should theoretically be if they're not doing like a neutral GL, it should be a dark side technically coming next. So I mean, we could have something like Chancellor Palpatine or Sheev Palpatine from
possibly
Phantom Menace.
I mean, there's some Jedi they could bring in. There's also the Naboo faction, you know, that they could bring in and do some stuff with.
Give it to me.
Talked about Gungans. I'm not against any of that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Jar Jar, but you know, he is a mainstay of the Star Wars universe. As much
I'm a fan of Star Wars, so let's get it, get it all in.
There are still a boatload of extended universe characters that they can. The Mara Jade, Starkiller event that kicked in. That I loved that event. That was beautiful.
It was great.
That was Legends event.
Starkiller overall, just the characters and all those characters, and the event was awesome. So
the event was beautiful.
It was so good.
If they, I said when they first, if they just do this once a year, just 5 legends, you know, 5 extended universe legends every single year for one, that would just that would appease so many. It would appease so many Star Wars fans, and I mean they've barely touched.
They've barely
scratched the surface.
Well, we talked about all the different types of factions, from the Celestials to the Eternal Throne to, you know, all these groups and factions and legends characters that they can bring in, from even the Jedi, Kip Durn, Cornhorn. I mean, we can go down the list of
God Almighty,
you know, that they could bring in. That would be a lot of fun. So
how about the actual kids? Can you imagine if they would ever?
Oh my God! I don't think they ever will. But
there's no way they're ever going to do Jaina or Jason or.
Hey, I'll take Arkin and Thexan for now. You know, that'll hold me over for twins until they. Engineer question: I only need Lord Schmader. Slowly relicking requirements, but with the new season of Bad Batch, you think CG release a light side bundle Bad Batch? What do you think possible? Yeah, with what they've done. Let me think. No, they've done stuff. Not yet, but I think that's definitely on the board here for this year, possibly at the end of the year. Maybe
I personally would say don't count on it. It can absolutely happen, but that seems incredibly specific to be. Let's have a Bad Batch bundle. If you look at the past ones they've done it for essentially the first GLs, Rey and Slacker, and they've done, you know, the opening ships, and they did Starkiller. Okay, so Starkiller was an epic confrontation, or no, legacy event. Sorry,
No,
not epic
legacy event,
confrontation.
yeah.
He was a legacy event from last year, right? So might do one for Afra later on, but it's more likely that they're going to be doing stuff that will help with C and JML coming up next. Maybe we'll see something else for another Legends event, but unfortunately, I think Bad Batch in particular would come, if anything, like 7-8 months down the line, and there's no point delaying your Lord Vader farm that flipping long. Like, just go get him. I know it's expensive in the Chirotech department. They're a great team. They've still got a lot of viability. I believe wasn't Fatal using him Bad Batch to beat GRA just yesterday. Like, they've got viability. You need a heavy investment in mods and relics, but they're still a phenomenal team. Yeah. I would recommend just go for it. Just do it. Don't base your farms on something that might theoretically happen. Just
it's just that overall farm. Bad Batch is a great team, but I mean, you only want to do it in the process of getting Lord Vader, because once you commit to Lord Vader, you are committed. You are pot committed, because that's 4 Relic 8s, a bunch of Relic 7s, and a partridge and a pear tree. You know, especially
it's still the biggest farm in the game,
and that's not even that's just relics, and that's not even counting the insane Chirotechs you have got to farm just for Bad Batch and everything else.
Just for the Bad Batch alone puts me off.
1600 Chirotech just for 4 of them. That's why my Omega is still gear 9.
Yeah, my Omega, all my Bad Batch are gear 8 and 9. Like, because there's no way I was putting the Kairos into them.
Oh yeah, they're extremely expensive. You know, for me, it's like I took Omega up, but you know, it's like I had the Datacron. I'm like, okay, I'll take her up, but she was like gear 11, gear 12. You know, and I was like, okay, I'll finish her off. You know, so it just made sense. Take her to Relic 3 or 5, whatever it was at the time, so I could use it. And she hits hard. I mean, once you do make that investment into Bad Batch, they are a very, very good team. They do some good work. Let's see here. Carl's question, adding to your 2023 in review question, thoughts, rating for the Star Wars movie, TV franchise, Ahsoka, etc. What came out last year? We had Ahsoka. What else? Bad Batch season 3 was last year, or season 2, sorry. Mandalorian season 3 was last year.
Wasn't there Tales of the Jedi? Was that
Tales of the Jedi
last year as well?
Yeah.
I had such high hopes for when I first heard Tales of the Jedi. I'm like, oh my god, they're going to turn the comics into graphic novels. No, they're not.
Just new stuff.
The actual source material that was called Tales of the Jedi from the 90s. You know, there's me thinking.
I still thought it was really good. Yeah, I thought it was really good. They did some really good lore building in that series, especially with Dooku and everything else. Man, I really like Tales of the Jedi. Bad Batch for me, season 2. The good stuff in that season was awesome. The filler and everything drove me up the wall. It really does. I couldn't. We did a review of that show. Ahsoka for me, I
couldn't finish it, so
I did. There is some powerful moments and some good stuff, but it's just like, I hope season 3 is the last one. Let's get this story out of the way and round it all up and finish this, right? Mando season 3, again, hit and miss. There's a lot of the Mando stuff that I really loved, and there was some stuff I'm like, no. Now Ahsoka, I really loved Ahsoka. I loved Ahsoka. I thought Ahsoka was awesome. Episodes 4 and 5. Are you kidding me? Oh my god! I'm not spoiling anything, but
there was a lot of Ahsoka. I wasn't quite as invested as many people, because, as many people know, I haven't watched Clone Wars, and I think that, and Rebels in particular, like the first season of Rebels. So a lot of backstory in the first couple of episodes was probably not me. But the first couple of episodes of Ahsoka for me, I just thought were slow. I was just like, oh my god. I got through it, and I felt as the season went on, the episodes got better. I think it felt a little soft, but like you said, episodes 4 and 5 I thought were really, really strong. And had some real good stuff in there. And I gotta be honest, I'm not going into details on the story plot, but Hayden Christensen has shown that he puts everybody to shame when it comes to lightsaber combat. Like, It's just like, yeah, okay. You could see him literally slowing himself down so the other person keep up in his lightsaber duels. I was like, he still got it, man. He still got it.
Oh my god.
Hats off to him.
I didn't watch either of them, so I have no frame of reference.
There's a lot of good stuff in Mando season 3, but there's some filler in there that just yeah. I mean, I love the relationship between Bo and Mandalore this season, and I like some of the stuff they did with the Mandalorians, and I thought they did a lot of good stuff of showing the Mandalorian culture and everything like that, and really a lot of feels with that show. The filler stuff I could give a shit less about, but the other stuff really worked for me for that. But it's not as good as I thought Ahsoka was. And I know Ahsoka was slow, but it really developed, especially toward the end, and it's really set up some really awesome stuff, you know, and this is not a spoiler because it was in all the trailer and stuff, but Thrawn's return was fucking nipple hard action there. Let me tell you, oh my god, it was so good. And to hear that voice, oh my god.
I tend to look at these things. I like when I'm reviewing a TV, so I don't tend to look at an episode in isolation and be like, this episode was trash. I tend to the series as a whole.
I try to look at the series as a whole.
This series was pretty good overall. Because like I feel like a lot of the series is obviously built on character arcs and story arcs.
Yeah, that is.
And that can be the problem. It's like the start can go because they have to establish things and then they have to show the character development and the story progression and they have to throw a twist in, that sort of thing. So I don't like to look at it in isolation, which is why I said it starts a bit slow, but I think overall it was pretty. And I think the same thing can be said of the Kenobi TV series. I think that had a lot of slow starting and it had some moments of real good content in there and then some moments of badness. But overall, I enjoyed Kenobi as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the Star Wars series. There's just some more than others. Like Andor for me is still my favorite one.
Yeah, for sure.
Almighty, Andor is phenomenal. And I can't wait for season 2, man. And the way they said that they're structuring that is like, oh, yes, please. It's like, I want to, oh, Lordy. All right, next question.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to say that it's great that there's something out there for every Star Wars fan. You know, I've not watched. I didn't watch Kenobi. I didn't watch Ahsoka. I'm not going to. I have no interest. That's not stuff for me. And people are like, "Oh, give us something else." I'm like, dude, it's the Star Wars universe. I'm on a last year and this year I'm on a big noughties kick for books. So I've been going back to between 2000 and 2010 and just searching, you know, looking out for Christmas. I got a hardback version of Outbound Flight. Can't wait to sit down and read it again. You know, from 2006. Timothy Zahn wrote some great stuff, you know, so it's like, hey, sure, okay, that TV show might not be for me, but there's other Star Wars stuff that you know, there's other Star Wars content I can engross myself in, you know, without constantly, you know, going on about, oh, I'm not going to watch it because it's like, I didn't watch it. I don't know if it sucks. I'm just going to watch this over here. You enjoy your stuff over there. I'll enjoy my stuff over there.
Yeah, it's if you didn't like something, you don't like something. Don't bother me. I mean, this is all a subjective
There's plenty
opinion.
Other options out there.
If you thought something was good, you thought something was good. It's like broccoli. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. No wrong answer on that. Question from the engineer says CG announced next Conquest character will be light side. Satil Shan. I've been saying it forever, and if it isn't Satil Shan, I just give up. Because once we got Malgus, I was like, okay, and then we got to the next point in last year. I'm like, it's got to be right. You can't have Malgus in the game without Satil, but they just were on that dark side kick in Conquest. Every single thing was dark side. And I kept saying, next character should be light side, should be Satil Shan. I was like Chevy Chase in European Vacation. Hey, kids, Big Ben, Parliament. Hey, kids, look at the Big Ben Parliament. You know, that's what I felt like last year. Every comment. Like, hey, kids, look, it's Satil Shan. Oh, no. I'm hoping if anybody has a different idea of what it could be, maybe it's Padawan Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know, but,
could be.
You know, someday maybe we'll get the Jedi Master.
I've given up on trying to predict what the Conquest unit be because they just seem to be like, we're just going to pick something fresh out of the air and that's what we make.
Pretty
like,
much.
Who saw Darth Bane coming? Like, just ran. I'm sure somebody out there was like, I knew it was coming. I said Darth Bane 6 months ago.
Sure.
But let's be honest, guys, it's all bullshit. Like, you just happen to guess the character. I don't know. It's going to be light side. I'm half expecting CG to give us a real backhand slap and make it a ship. Because
could be, but I wouldn't mind that so much if
ships.
it's the right ship, right? Like say it was Zori Bliss's Y-wing or ship, and I'd be like, oh sure, I'll take that.
Please.
Yeah.
Make the Holdo ship fleet do something.
Yeah,
from being a glorified cleanup fleet.
Yeah.
Does anybody do that anymore? Does anybody do like, these 10 characters I'd like to see it this year, or 10 ships?
I think Arnold literally released one like 12 ago.
Yeah, and we talk about it all the time on all of our streams and stuff. So, people ask what we would like to see and stuff, and we'll give our list. In cadence wise, we know we can tell pretty quickly which direction they're going. But Conquest, other than the cadence of character ship, character ship, like that kind of cadence, and and usually it's been a dark side push big time. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It could be a ship, it could be a character, it could be anything from Cecil Sean to a ship that's going to fill out one of the fleets, or it could be Leve. So yeah, I'm hoping Cecil Sean, but I won't be shocked when it's not.
Yeah, I think it's more likely to have something that aligns to Phantom Menace, just because of the way it's going to fall.
Sure.
Like timing wise, it would be around about the right. What is it? May 18th or something like that is the 25th year anniversary. I can't believe it's 25 years. That's crazy. Of Phantom Menace.
Are you sure
it kind of lines up?
Release?
1999.
I think it was.
Was it a summer release?
Yeah, it was May.
I was in the army in Cyprus at the time. I'm trying to remember the time.
Yeah, it was May 24th or whatever. It was 1999.
Actually, 16th of July apparently. Oh, that's the UK release date.
The American release date. Yeah.
Because when you're in an army base, there's usually a cinema with 19th. One screen on it.
Yeah, so it was around the end of
nice.
Yeah. So let's see here. So we'll get some stuff definitely for May the 4th and everything for that. Tom says Darth Bane for years. We've been saying Darth Bane for years, but we thought he was going to be a galactic legend. But I'm very happy that he's a lifter unit, with the version. That doesn't mean we can't get other versions of Bane. There are plenty. But yeah, that it's for C and it's a lifter unit, this version. I'm okay with that, so like that Sith spirit stuff. We've talked about them many times. Light side Dooku, that's a possibility. I don't think so, but can't count it out. Will we
I think it's unlikely.
What about a capital ship as a conquest unit? Never.
No.
They'll never do that.
Not going to happen.
No, not.
They make
it's like a galactic legend.
Capital ships.
Yeah.
Wash your mouth out with soap and water, Ray Rock. Red 5, piloted by JTR.
You're a very bad man. You're a very, very, very bad
exactly.
man.
It'll be piloted by GL Ray. Come on. It was in Rise of Skywalker. Jeez, get it right, Ray Rock.
Just shit all over Luke. He just wanted to go to Tashi Station and get some power converters.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he wanted to do. Just a simple farm boy.
Bullseye some womp rats. Damn it. It's T-16 Hopper. God
honestly,
damn it.
If they want to release a red, I actually want them to release Pilot Luke. I want red jumpsuit Luke, and he can be a rebel fighter.
And then they can rework Wedge and Biggs to be Red 3 and Red 2.
Yeah.
And put that back with Akbar and boom. Just make it a really, really good squad.
Get out of there, Wedge. You keep doing even good back there. Come on, man. We gives us the feels, man. It's got to be Luke. Don't give me Ray. God.
Yeah, because
so
they rework Wedge and Biggs, so they rework it so that if Biggs is the first to die, all of his stats then carry on to Wedge and Luke.
Hell yeah, baby!
And then they make Wedge's special that he retreats and passes all of his stats onto Luke.
That would be so funny, man.
So your fleet is Akbar, and if it's just Luke Skywalker left, he just becomes indestructible.
Oh my
god!
And
his special is a photon. His special is a torpedo that blows up the other capital ship. Because I'm sorry, but if Red 5 is it finds the exhaust port on any capital ship, and the graphic is simply torpedoes going into an exhaust port, and then boom, capital ship blows up.
We've already seen it happen, Nev. I don't know if you saw, but when Interceptor first came out, it was bugged, and the one shot could target an enemy capital ship and blow it up.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was great.
I was not aware of that.
Oh my god. Like, did
was
I
so
just
funny
blow
to
up the
see
capital ship
reinforced.
Did I just blow up the capital?
with a laser?
The great thing about
the
that is
laser.
the game actually uses distance in the game. So when you shoot that shot, you could see
I
it
know.
flying all
Well,
the
the
way
screen went through to the right. You're like,
ship, and it just goes.
wait, what?
So funny.
What happened? What had happened?
Where'd the capital ship go, man?
Well, Re-Rock says, what about trench capital ship and the HMP droid gunship? Well, they gotta before they do that. I mean, they need to figure out like what they want to do, like with Grievous's ship. So if you're gonna do droid ship, which I think they can do with Trench, move like the droid ships over to his ship, right? And or keep them with Grievous and then move all the other ships with Trench, like and bring in like Dooku's ship, and then you keep some of the other droid ships with Grievous and have that like your droid separatist fleet with Trench with the new shinies and new stuff and make that round that out that way. There's a lot of ships. I mean, we still talk about Zori's ship for Resistance. We need Red 5 and A-Wing and B-Wing to round out the Rebels a little bit more. We need some more Jedi starfighters like Yoda and other characters to round out Kenobi if we're going to go full clones, and some clone ships for the Mace fleet. So there's some ships that's got to be done this year, but they've been releasing 5 to 7 on average ships since the year that I said it was going to be ships, and it wasn't. When we got two ships, 2 freaking ships. Last year was what, 9? That one year,
3 ships.
2022 was 9.
We had last year. Oh,
2022
4.
was 9. How many did we get last year? We had Defender. What else did we get?
We had the TIE Dagger, the Interceptor. We had the TIE Defender, the Marauder. So 4 ships. That's not a lot. 1 a quarter.
Yeah, did we get anything? Oh, Marauder.
I said Marauder.
Did you say Marauder? Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Raven's Claw was
one, so that's fun. Oh, was that the
and
year
then
before?
Technically, I suppose we also got the Leviathan, so we had a capital ship and 4 ships in total.
Fury and the Interceptor.
Yeah. Fury class Interceptor, so 5 ships. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So yeah, but if those 5 ships are just round out and do all that stuff, then hey man, I'm totally for it. You know what I'm saying? Who's this butthole joining us? Oh no.
Hi, it's me.
Oh, now you want to join us?
I'm definitely leaving now.
Invaded by the Scots.
too many Brits.
I feel like I'm in a bad joke. An Englishman, a Welshman, and a Scotsman walk into a bar. Oh Lord. Oh jeez.
And there's a ginger there as well.
Yeah. And then ginger. We don't know what he is. The soulless one. The Daywalker.
Yes. Guaranteed the Scotsman doesn't pay. That's the only way I know.
It's funny you should say that. That would be a good ship, but obviously, GG as he's already got his capital, but a soulless one, that would have been a nice separatist ship.
Yeah.
Like a soulless one.
And it's actually in the game already, is it?
It is. It's in the game.
Gas event, isn't it?
It was named after me.
No. Yeah. It was first in the raid.
Where are you, Aldi? Are you back home? Are you still traveling? Are you in China?
No, I'm back home in Glasgow, but I'm flying to Egypt tomorrow and then back to New Zealand in February. So here for a week or 2.
Going all over the place.
All right.
Egypt. Nice.
Here tomorrow. Bit of sun. Too miserable in this
country.
A
little bit of sun there. Yeah, the Middle East is warm.
You're going to go to Giza and see some big stones?
Nope. I'm going to stay on the beach in Sharm el-Sheikh and do nothing.
All right, that's what Ollie does.
Okay, yeah.
Proper red.
Scottish, Irish, ginger. Let's get it right there. What else? 73. I got a little bit of both. God damn it. Help me. Welcome, Aldi. Glad to have you back here. Yeah, hit the likes, everybody. If you haven't hit the subscribe or like button, why don't you do that now? Print out this great content. Doing this, having fun. So where's Aldi's home? The plane? The plane! Yeah, pretty much. Look at him. He looks just worn out from all that partying and stuff he's been doing. Look at this.
Give him an iron brew, he'll be fine.
He's doing good. I have to watch that. YouTube changed their thing, so you can't take it out. They do ads while you're streaming. And you can limit them, rude. but you have to watch it, because if you don't, they'll slip one in when like you're watching the chat or something, because they figure like that'd be a nice break for an ad. It's like they decide. You have no decision. The only thing you can do is like skip the ads.
Oh no, it wouldn't.
Like wait, no, I don't want that to hit right now. What do you mean? Yeah. All right,
How
get your
dare you
questions in.
interrupt
We
my
got
stream.
Aldi, Scribbles, and Governor over there. So, no, not right now, but they'll sneak one in. If you're a member, I think you don't get it, but everybody else does. I have to kind of watch it because I don't want you guys having a 30-second ad while we're talking about something. So, yeah. Engineer says, should a Scottish man be in the sun? He will burn a cinder. I don't know. Is that more of the sun or the vampirism that's part of that culture? I don't know.
Well, for danger of telling another beach story and getting banned.
No beach stories.
No, the weird thing is New Zealand is by far the worst. You notice it far more down there, the kind of the thin ozone layer. How quickly you burn, even just on a day.
Well, higher elevations, right? Because there's people don't realize the mountains there are just extraordinary, you know.
But even just by the beach, you really, really, really burn there faster than anywhere else I know.
Yeah. Oh, if you're a premium member, you don't get that. Yeah, it's just try to deal with it. Do the best I can for you guys. So, and you heard it here first. Scientifically speaking, Aldi is saying that New Zealand is where you get the worst sunburns. I would have guessed the desert, but what do I know? You know,
his son.
I'm not a real Irish Ranger. All right, someone ban him. All right, James, you're on my shit list. I really am not truly Irish. I'm an American. I just have Irish ancestry and Scottish ancestry. What you want me to do? God damn it! I didn't land in America. America landed on me. I do want to go to New Zealand. I'd love to see all those great sights from the movies and stuff. So good. Yeah, I'm with you. What else? Any three, but yeah. So yeah, get your questions in. We got the panel here talking about different things and fun stuff in the game. It's kind of a quiet period right now. I'm done with Conquest. We're getting ready for our TW here. Starting in whenever TW kicks off. What, 2 hours? Less than 2 hours?
Sometime soon.
Oh no, 33 minutes. Holy shit. Oh my god. Slopper says, "Scribe, how are the cats and dogs?"
Fabulous, obviously. I mean, you know, they've had some nice treats. They've had some loving. They've had some belly scratches. We've got a guest dog staying with us, which is going to be picked up in about 10 minutes. So there's that.
Guest dog.
Yeah, things are good. Thank you. Yeah. Just looking after a dog for a couple of hours today. So he's a lovely spaniel. His name is Nino.
Nino.
Mm-hmm.
The Nino.
Yeah, you know the dog.
Yeah,
not El Nino.
El Nino.
Do you really know?
Little chihuahua. Well, it's not mine. My girlfriend has. My new girlfriend has a dog. Little chihuahua called Yo-Yo.
See, Nev was just trying to slip in that he's got a new girlfriend. That's what that was about.
No. She's been on camera. It's a chihuahua smaller than a cat. So she just sits on my knee like Dr. Evil.
Oh,
it's beautiful. She'll just sit.
Did she have to give you the speech? No, Nev, don't bite our kitty.
And I can just stroke her. She's so
love
well
our
behaved.
kitty.
She's an old lady though, you know. So
yeah, I've got the Great White Wilkie Buddy and 2 cats, Mischief and Mayhem, and they live up to their name. They are little rascals, twin kitty girls.
Big kittens.
They are a handful. They are too clever for their own good. I catch them all the time, and they think they're sneaky, but I'm even more sneaky. So I'll come in there and catch them. What are you doing? And start running off and stuff. So I've never asked. You have kitties or doggies?
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
He's got to go check on the kitties and doggies.
For me?
Yes. No, the other Aldous.
Okay. No, sorry, I was going to say there was a question in chat. I rented an Airbnb in New Zealand this year, and it came with a cat. The cat was called Buttons. So
okay.
I'm actually booked the same place again to go back to in February. So
you missed Buttons.
I missed Buttons. Buttons was gorgeous. So yes, I have a temporary cat that comes with an Airbnb attached to it. But quite good. It was just the weirdest thing when you book an Airbnb and you get a message back that says, "I hope you and Buttons got on well." You're like, who the hell is Buttons? But he was gorgeous. He was gorgeous. And I look forward to seeing him again.
Loosen up my buttons, babe. You keep fronting.
I mean, the owners of the Airbnb probably think, oh, you know, it's a cute cat. People on holiday, they'll be like, oh, there's this cat I can stroke and play with and pet, and probably get. I mean, did you like buy it treats and feed it stuff that because it's not your cat, you can give them back at the end of it. So
No,
you
I
just
mean,
play with them and feed them what you like.
I've never really had a cat, so it came with a sort of automatic feeding station that we kind of did it.
Okay.
And it kind of sorted its business outside. So it was kind of like, but it just came and went. It would kind of come in every so often, look at me and go, "What are you doing?" and then walk off. But it was gorgeous. I look forward to seeing it again.
Yeah, but the reason we don't have a buddy cam is because Buddy's a pussy boy. He is a mama's boy. I bring him down here. He will not stay down here. He gets all nervous. He has to be near mom all the time. He's a mama's boy. He literally will not stay down here. I mean, he'll come down here in the morning, jump in the bed, try to wake me up, and then he's gone. Even if I bring treats down here, I've had tough time. I literally would have to go pick him up and bring his ass down here. And it's breakfast morning, so he's over there trying to get some of my mom's bagel and/or toast, whatever she's eating, because he's a foodie. So, Kimmy has a question. How does one beat Lord Schmader with Maul and Third Sister with a Datacron? It's SLKR is what I use. I go full tilt on that. It's like Lord Vader, or sorry, SLKR with like Watt and armor and Hux and it's not very pen efficient. That's what we usually use, because especially with that stacking defense of Kron, I'll put one on Kylo, but he's going to ramp up, and then you kill the team with your AoEs and burn them down. I'm trying to think who else can take that team on.
I mean, GMK does okay.
GMK does okay.
You've got to be careful. So GMK obviously don't reduce Cat's cooldown as your first move, in case Maul re-increases her. But then you get to basically insta-leap Royal Guards, and then that leaves, or insta-kill Reva, I guess, in this case. So that pretty much works as long as you get that first thing.
Yeah, with the revive, with the anti-revive, yeah. And then you go fast ultimate because you want to get to Maul as quickly as possible.
Maul does take, once he does his first hit, which tends to be like first up with 5, because you obviously can all be in there. His second hit takes a very long time to get round. And if there isn't like a defense element to the crawl or anything like that, then you can kind of get to Maul pretty fast. So I've been using GMK, but yeah.
JML does very good work too, especially with Cal in there, man. That team, really, really solid work.
I'm looking at him as a new potential R9 for me, because he's becoming more and more a valuable GL now. Which one? GML.
Oh yeah, he's Relic 9. Him and Leia, you want Relic 9 on.
Is that because of Cal, the new Cal cast?
Oh, Cal is stupid, dude. That new character, dude. Cal is ridiculous, man. He is awesome. And yeah, you got to go full tilt with that team with Giant Rev and Giant Luke and Hermit Yoda. But I mean, you will kill the shit out of Lord Schmader. Cal does so much stuff. It's silly, dude. He hits bloody hard too. I mean, he's gross, dude. He is that good. Yeah, that character is that bloody.
I don't know what's the cadence of the event. I mean, I'm ready for it. I don't know when the next one's coming out.
February or March.
Yeah,
really that long?
Yeah, came back. When was the last time it came out? Like November.
Yeah, November. It's probably 3 months. It's probably February. Like I say, I'm in the same position. I'm waiting for it to come round. So I don't have him yet. That's why I'm looking at. But GML's becoming. He's becoming a much better, more relevant GL, I feel. He seems to be.
For me, he always has been. More. He always has been, but you have to mod him correctly.
You need the R9 on him, really, which I've never had. I've only ever had him at R7, so I'm looking at that. But yeah,
stats go out through the roof. Him and Leia, they're 2 Relic 9s that I highly recommend for GLs. They're just too amazing. That stat boost at Relic 9 and everything for him and her is just silly. After that, I think Rey Relic 9 makes sense, and then you can go down the list. I mean, those are 3 GLs, and I'm like, yeah, Relic 9's pretty good. I do like Relic 9 on Lord Vader. He gets some boosts. It's pretty nice. And same thing for Jabba. I think JMK and C you can get away with them at Relic 8.
They haven't fixed Reva yet.
No.
She still isn't a tank as far as the Relic 9's concerned.
Yeah, it's not that she's not. Yeah, it's just that they screwed something up with that. I've been waiting forever for that to be fixed, and it never has. But I mean, even Relic 8 will eat JML and JMK teams alive, man. I mean, we just did it last night. They had JMK on there. I'm like, it's like winning. So yeah, it was
you kind of have a go with Fennec Shand. I mean, you're surprised just how much work she can do. I mean, yeah, the win rate's terrible, but she does tend to do quite a bit of damage and maybe get rid of one or two. If you can get to the Mando insta-kill, then you can pretty much soften up a Lord Vader quite a bit. So even if you don't have the higher relic or GMK or GML, you can 2-tap Vader these days.
Yeah. But I try to be efficient, so it's like, and for me, the bounty hunters, I mean, if there's just one tank, in the past, I would run the bounty hunter team, right? But the problem is with these datacrons, it's just no way. I mean, it's not advantageous right now. I've always got the Fennec team, but I've been using bounty hunters to go kill Radis because it's such an easy, counter for 65 banners. It's like, I'll just think it. Well, I gotta go to the store after we get done. Hold on. All right, let me just respond to a text. So yeah, I get to go shopping after this.
The fun shopping or the not fun shopping?
It's the not fun shopping.
It's the not fun shopping.
Well, I just hate shopping in general. Like, for Christmas, my mom took me out. I mean, that's what she does for me. She's like, let's just go to the stores and buy you clothes. I'm like, yeah, it's nice to get clothes, but I hate shopping. God almighty. And she's a power shopper. I was sitting there looking at shirts. And I was like, I'll get a few shirts for the trip for Orlando, right? I'm looking at shirts and she's like, what are you doing? You find any shirts? I said, no, I'm looking for the certain type. I haven't found it. And all of a sudden she's just like, here's a shirt, here's a shirt, here's a shirt, here's a shirt. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Mom, stop. What are you doing? Like, what the she's just walking through the whole store. She'll be in there for hours. So I'm just sitting there like, can I just pick some stuff and go home? No. All right, I'm gonna go sit over there when you need me. Come get me. There's a nice, comfortable seat over there. So, I'm gonna go to the mall, find a nice something to munch on, and just chill and watch YouTube while you go finish your shopping. She'll have two of her friends there too, and they're just running through, checking everything, checking the price, checking everything. It's like, God damn. I'm your typical man. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in there. I need to get 2 shirts and some socks. And that's all I do. I'm not sitting there doing anything. I look, what do you got for shirts? Do I like it? No? Okay, let me get socks. They have the socks I want. Okay, good. Let's get the hell out of here. So, yeah, power shopping.
Oh, I do have a question about Hondo. I keep seeing Hondo used against GLs. What is that? Is that Datacron related?
Datacron related.
That is. Oh, then I don't care because I don't have Datacron, so it's not going to be relevant for me.
Desi, Jingle Schnarr says, you're anything but typical Ranger. Okay.
Who sits on the anti-GML team? The cheese one with Chrysanthemum and Dashlead. Does Hondo sit on that?
It did with that one Datacron.
I do have yeah.
I don't think it needs a Datacron.
It doesn't. I know, yeah.
Because GML just keeps hitting Chrysanthemum or Chrysanthemum and the rest of them just ramp. I think. I'm not sure, but that's the only place I've seen him.
It's Dash, Hondo, and then it's
we have to have Vandor.
L3.
Yeah, sorry,
I can't remember who the 5th one was.
It's either
Vandor
for sure. It's typically IG and Quill as part of that, right? Or I've seen L3 in there too. So yeah.
Yeah, it's Vandor, not Chrysanthemum. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. That one.
We answered that.
It's easy to get. It's easy to get Wookiees mixed up. They all look alike.
James says best GMK team. Best GMK team. There's 2 versions of it. I mean, I like for offense. I use this all the time, and I switched it. Your typical team is JMK, Cat, Snips, Padme, GK, right? But I found, especially against GLs, that I prefer to have Mace and Shaq T in there. Especially against Jabba's, it's a much better combination. And then you can move Snips and I usually use GK now for my Jedi Cal team because he's such a better tank. We tried it the other day with Mace just against Malgus. No. You want GK. He just takes better hits and stuff. But that team gives me everything I need for any counter that I'm doing. you have the cleanses and all the stuff and the multiple attacks and, you know, and Mace with his attacks really beats down the opponent. High success rate, but they both work out really well. But those are, I don't know of any other combinations that are out there.
GMY, I use GMY on my JMK team.
You can.
Instead of Padme, because my GMY is like very high relic, you know, extremely high offense because you don't need him fast. He just goes and goes and goes and goes and spreads buffs and keeps the foresight going. I use GMY so that I can get max banners when I'm using JMK. Because
you can still get it with Padme and Shakti in there because they cleanse and get all that stuff too there as well. Plus, when you get the ultimates and things of that nature, so there's different variations. There are both, some good. They both work,
but they all get max banners.
Do you have to break up any other teams for JMK team? Well, yeah, but I mean, depends on what...
I would say it's the opposite. I mean, being able to pull Padme off of GMK gives you a Gidme option, which is good against Malicos. So actually being able to run a GMK team that's viable without Padme is actually a bit of an advantage.
You can.
Actually buys you a Malicos counter. Yes, you might not one-shot Malicos, but you'll probably kill Malicos, but the Seer and the others, you might not clear them up. But that's probably the best reason for pulling Padme off of it.
Yeah, you can. Again, there's different combinations. It just depends on what your roster is, what teams you're running, what you're using to counter. Because typically, I think for Seer team, it's just like with C, I'm just like, go kill that. Let's just not even fuck around with that. And if I have to use C somewhere else, I'm like, okay, Treya, go do your work here. I know how to do this counter too. Hey, Beskar Bandito says, ¿Qué pasa, vato locos? Hey, fool, what are you doing, man? You crazy. You crazy and you're throwing some cash around here, fool. What are you doing, Ese? What are you doing, fool? What's going on? It's been a minute, man. What you been doing, man? Where you been hiding? Crazy, fool. All right, just wanted to do that because you did a $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you. Let's get some love for Beskar Bandito. Hey, get all the little loves and stuff there. Hey, thanks, fool. All right, going to start wrapping this up. Get your questions in now. Remember, put the word question for any actual question statement. If you have any questions for us in this awesome panel of Misfits toys, then feel free to put those in there right now. I'll let these guys pimp their stuff in a few minutes. Go check out their channel and check out their content and where they're doing their stuff. And then I'm going to go. Well, it's the last week of the NFL, so I'm going to be watching the sports ball. So
nice.
If you need me, I'll be watching sports ball.
Sports ball.
I'll
be making videos, baby.
Have fun with that. James says, thanks for not timing me out. Well, she only does it if I tell her to do that. The real person you should be thanking is Buck stops here with old number one. You're welcome, Kimmy baby. She says, thanks for the help, everyone. Of course, you know. And even with the Datacrons, just I guess I would tell people in JC, even if you have the right counter and the right Datacron with the RNG, you can still lose these fights. Trust me. This happens. When you open up a Star Kill against Rey and you don't land any debuffs and nothing hits and they dodge, well, then you just sit there and you take your lumps and you just get your ass kicked because that's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, it's like Profundity versus Executor. If you get 1 or 2 calls and assists, you can win the fight. If you don't, or if they dodge everything, then you're going to take your lumps. It's just the way it is.
I've had it before.
Yeah, it's happened to
just
all
no assists and they dodge. And you're like, oh, well, I guess that's me boned then.
Yeah. And then that's me screaming at the screen like, what's wrong with you? Why? General's question, do you think CG release Gas is capital ship? No, I don't think Gas is getting capital ship. It's a possibility, but just look in the future radar here, guys. I don't see Gas getting into
Again, yeah. Possibility, but unlikely.
Another Galactic Republic ship. Capital.
No, not with what we've got out right now. No. I mean, we got to get some ships to fill out those 2 fleets. So in the future, in this near future of this year and stuff, no, not a chance. No. Yeah. No, say we're not going to get anything. Say. We'll know here. The first couple weeks here in January, that's really slow, and then all of a sudden it starts picking up. Marquees and things start happening, and we know we're going to. if they stick to the cadence like they've done for the last couple of years, we got a legendary something coming for spring, right? And then that leads into the summer where we have a new capital ship, and then that leads into the fall where we're going to get a new GL, and then that leads into whatever epic confrontation, whatever shit crazy event they're going to come up with for the holidays. So I mean, they've been on a pretty steady beat. Now certain characters and what they're releasing and what ties in, we can speculate, but like Conquest, nobody knows. But like we can sit there and give you some ideas, but I mean, someone says, I know, like you're full of shit. You don't know a damn thing until you get some data mine shit or something like that. You don't have a clue.
I do. I mean, as far as I can tell, TIE Defender, I think was the 12th of January last year.
Yep.
As a galactic chase. So it does make sense that we're getting a galactic chase next week, and it'll be a single ship. And if you match what the Defender did, you're probably going to get another fleet for Resistance, which a Zori fleet could make sense, or another Rose Tico style bomber or sister or something like that. Just something for Resistance, just to boost Holdo a tiny bit.
The other Rose.
That's where the pattern goes.
Yeah. But they've changed up the pattern in small increments here and there with release cadences, things of that nature. Sometime in March, we'll get Bo. Hopefully, that's where she'll be re-released. At the same time that Darth Bane's coming out. That's why I'm hoarding like a motherfucker right now. Everything's being hoarded for those two characters because that's going to be a big deal to have both those in GAC. So I've got 60 Omicrons, and I realized I need 60 more, so I'll be farming. Holding on to those for a while. I'd like to do some other characters, but it's not in my future. Engineer, if Trench gets a capital ship, what ships do we not take from Malevolence? I think you take the Geos, you add like Dooku shippers and maybe one more, like a Saja ship, and you throw that in with the Trench team, and then you take all the droids, and you add like the Tri-gun ship and some other droid ships, and you add that to Malevolence. So you have a droid separatist fleet, and you got your other separatist fleet that you could do. No, people forget Saj did have a ship.
The other white meat.
Yes, the other. What else in 3 Ranger? Does that mean you won't be taking to Barriss Relic 8? I'd love to, but as Scribe knows, I've been doing a lot of stuff for the raid and other stuff like Relic 7 on these 3 bastards coming up for Bo, and I need gear for Bo and Bane. So would I like to take Barriss Relic 8? Yes. Will I?
Languishing at Relic 3 for me.
Mine's Relic 5, and I would like to take her up, but I mean, every time I try to take a character that I want to take up to get something like the raid or something else, like God Almighty, because I still
there's always something to invest
and those
in.
characters I want to get up first, because right now where we're at, but when the guild wants to make the next big push, I'm going to take all those characters to Relic 8. I'm getting 9 million to right around 9 to 10 million. Yeah, I'm good.
It's I got 14 last time.
Yeah, I'm not even trying. I go auto Scribe. I'm really just auto, and I'm like looking over here. What I get 2.2? Okay.
No judgment from me, man. No judgment from me.
I can't stand
it. Yeah, no, I put two characters in, and then I hit basic auto for basic attack.
Yeah,
it gets me just close to 5 million, which is more than that. Puts me in the top half of my guild, so I know I'm getting kicked out of my guild for that because I'm finishing them.
As you should, you bastard. No, I'm kidding.
I still use the guide. My guild has a guide, like use these two, use these. So I've got a guide, so I know what 2 characters I'm putting together. But since I'm just using basics, I can put it on auto basic.
Yeah, right. Saying. Yeah, Bears is not immediately because I still got 3 Imperials to take to Relic 8, and that'll round out my teams, so I can just get 8 teams that I can get 2 million average on. That's plenty. If I can't do anything more than that, then I don't care. And that's Gideon, I think Stark, and I can't remember the other one we had.
Iden?
Yeah, I did all the light side ones. Yeah, Iden's already at Relic 8, so Scout Trooper.
Oh, okay.
But I've got all the other light side, but I just haven't done like Gideon, the last.
Vias, maybe?
Yeah, those characters, like that. Pietz was already Relic 9, so I didn't have to worry about him. So yeah, it's just those, but I'm like, I gotta get this other stuff done first. So I do want Bane, I do want Bo-Katan. And when we make the big push, I'll put the relics on, So all right. I'm not seeing any other questions. I think we can start wrapping it up. Roll the tape. All right. Let's do this by letting these awesome people pimp their stuff. Princess Scribbles, where can people check you out on your channels and stuff you're putting out right now?
I get absolutely flipping everywhere at the moment, guys. No, mostly on YouTube. Scribe Gaming over on YouTube. Please do give me a subscribe over there. I do stream on Twitch about 4 days a week. So yeah, I'm also, I think it's Gaming Scribe or something like that, but absolutely go give me a follow there and we'll have some good times.
Hey, Butthole, are you going to be streaming Friday nights at that time moving forward?
Yes.
Well, then I need to change my time because we were stomping all over each other last time.
That's my provisional for this next month. I'm testing different time slots. It's only on a Friday. Okay. But yes.
Earlier.
Sounds good.
Fridays are tough, man, because you just look up. There's like 10 different content creators. Yeah. And I was sitting there going, Steve Degner says, one last thought question. We'll get it in quick. We're pimping. If you can get it in before we get done pimping, then I'll do it. Aldi, are you even doing content right now? You're more like traveling the world. I see you stream once in a while, but it's been like
we're still streaming the usual GAC on Welcome to Civilized on Twitch, and I've launched a new podcast, the Roundtable of One podcast, which is on Spotify, iTunes, Google. It's a Roundtable of One, but it's not news. It is me telling stories. My last episode, I was explaining why Rebel Moon is the most influential Star Wars content in the last 10 years. Influential, not the best. Okay. If you want to understand why it is the most influential, you've got to listen to the podcast.
I'm so going to watch that just because of the title.
But it's only on, I don't record it live, so it's purely on your Spotify. It's purely audio and stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to break down the film or where it's from, the history,
so if you want
director.
to hear Aldi talk nonsense for a couple of hours, go check.
We've got about 17 odd episodes on there. They're only 25 minutes to half an hour. Yeah, lots of people enjoying them. They're just added.
Deep thoughts with Aldous and Fly. Steve says, I miss the old school crew. How are they doing? Well, I'll see Finn in February. Finn's doing great, married and doing his thing. And I'll be down there February 1st to the 4th in MegaCon. I'll be in the full Beskar costume and doing all that stuff. And we're wrapping up our 2023 campaign for the ACS. And we always celebrate at the end of those campaigns and get ready to start off 2024. Grande has been busy with work. And his kids, one kid's in college, the other two are in high school. He's running around with his head cut off, been working that, so he hasn't had as much time. He bumps in once in a while. Loki stopped playing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, but he still hangs around and pops in once in a while. I saw him in Vegas last year. So
I met him in December. I spent 3 days with Sir Loki in December. He's doing well. He's
doing very well. Yeah.
Love it. Still, doesn't play the game anymore, but not in a bitter way. He
just moved on.
He's quite well spoken on it and quite interesting on it. He's obviously got a very good perspective. But yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah. And then McVenom, she is just living life, family, and COVID really changed things for her because she's a nurse, so her life kind of got flipped with that. So she has kids and a husband and family, and she's been doing that, and they moved into a new home and all this other stuff. And so she in the game kind of she just didn't like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes anymore, but I talk to her once in a while, so she's doing well. Everybody's doing well, and it's good to report that the old crew is all doing well. Stu's doing great. We always have him on for our ACS stuff when we can, but he beat cancer and he's doing well. So yeah. All right. Last but not least, the Niv.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin, where can folks check out your content, old boy?
On Twitch, my Ickle channel. Recently, I haven't even sat down and done the affiliate stuff, but I can set up the affiliate stuff. I stream GAC only, and I only do it on Twitch. That's it. I just came back to do GAC because I miss shit talking with people and just generally enjoy.
I mean, that's pretty much why we do what we do. And the game is the game, but it's really hanging out with you wonderful and amazing folks and just, bullshitting, having fun. That's what it's all about. That's what it's, have a good time with you guys, give you something fun to listen to. So do me a favor, guys. Besides the thumbs up and subscribe and all that stuff you do here, go check out these guys' content. They do a lot of good content. Easiest way to say thank you to somebody that streams and it's just watch a video. Hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment. Even it's like, I like this. That really does help in the algorithms of Twitch and YouTube. So if you
if you say I don't like this, that also helps.
Even
Just
if you say
any sort of engagement.
Yeah, even if you say Scribe's a bloody bald wanker, you can do that on YouTube and he'll take it.
And you wouldn't be wrong. I wouldn't block that comment.
But I know what a wanker is.
I've seen some of your comments, Scribe.
Yeah,
not always.
There's always going to be douchebags out there. When you're a content creator, you just have to have thick skin because people come in there all the time, and most of it's positive. It's positive. And you get a lot of positive feedback. And then there's some constructive criticism, and I'll take it. Right, if it's constructive, then you just have your ass clowns. They're miserable. They want the world to be miserable. They just are negative. They just want to be negative. Nothing constructive or anything. They're just coming at you like you're trash, please, just awful things they say. I'm just like, delete. Hope you have a good life. Don't ever come here again. I don't have time for your shit. If you want to be miserable, you go do miserable, but not here. So, but yeah.
Do it on your own time.
Yeah, so it is what it is. So thanks for joining us for Jedi Academy. I got some errands to run, so good things taken out. Your GAC record sucks. I don't think so. I have a winning record, very high winning record. Lifetime was over 1 million, and I haven't had a losing season. Last time I had a losing season, 6-3, 5-4. I've had some 7-2s. Yeah, so you wouldn't know it because we keep getting squished. But I stopped caring a long time ago. So I try to win more than I lose. So.
Hey, I'm 10-0. I've got potential 11-0 next round.
I can't wait till Nev climbs up and he comes in. Guys,
help!
I'm slaughtered. I'm 0-6. I can't stop the beating. They just won't stop. No, it's true.
If I go 3-0, it's like, next week I'm gonna get wrecked.
Yeah,
that's what I thought, but I keep winning.
Oh, it'll happen. Trust me, it's gonna happen. Just me and Scribe and all this can tell you. If you careful, look at this. If you climb too close to the sun, your wax wings will melt and you'll fall to the earth. Careful, look at this. I'm just telling you, we've all been there.
Yeah.
I have been in the top 300 in Kyber 1. I can tell you it was not an enjoyable experience. It was, oh, Lord. I'm happy to be in the top 1,000. I'll be happy with that. I don't really need to prove anything else. Like, top, between 5 and 1,000 for me is, 500 and 1,000. I'm happy with that. I do not want to be in the top dog stuff. Even when you get around 500, like, ooh, I'm going to get my ass kicked. Oh, you have 13.8 million GP and 900 datacrons. Okay, I'm just going to take this beating like a man, and we're just going to do one battle. So yeah. Thank you to everybody. So yeah, let's wrap it up. Everyone have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go watch some sports ball. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week for Jedi Academy. Peace out.